Hello everyone, this is BG Go Element Autoworks. Now, I have been working on all day the removal of the tandem pump, the ABC pump, in order to replace it with a standard power steering pump. This is on the 2003 Mercedes SL500, R129. I started off by reading a forum that explains supposedly in detail on how to do it. My problem was I assumed that what I was reading was correct. Unfortunately, they left out a lot of vital information, such as the difficulty of getting to that rear 13 millimeter bolt that holds the tandem pump in place. You have to remove a whole lot of stuff. You have to disassemble things that go on the tandem pump, such as, I don't even know the terminology, and so I'm not even going to try because I'm so frustrated right now. But here goes that daggone pump, and I had to take off, I can't remember what it's called. It's the gold piece that's on there. It's like a cylinder. I had to remove that in order to get access to that 13 millimeter bolt. I had to access a lot of stuff from the top, a lot of stuff from the bottom. It's very, 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 very difficult. I remember removing the ABC pump from my SL500 and also from a SL55. Much easier, much easier. And I guess because you have more space. The SL500 is very tight. Even though they have the same engine and a lot of the same components, things are ran differently and turned differently just because of the space that this car lacks in comparison to the larger models such as the CL and also the S-Class. There is an S-Class that has the ABC pump, and that is the S55. So what I'm trying to say is make sure that you read the appropriate form, take what you can from one, compare it to another, compare it to another, compare it to another. And in that way, you will be able to accurately remove that ABC pump without going through the difficulty of assuming that what I was reading was correct. All right, so just take your time. Understand that there's a lot of disassembly involved. It's not simple. It's very complex, and I mean, I don't cuss, but there was some words coming out my mouth that weren't appropriate, and I cut my hand up a little bit, just a couple scratches here and there, but I mean, a little bit of blood. It's just surface, just in the epidermis, but a lot of blood was coming off my hand just because there's a lot of blood vessels. What am I talking about? Anyway, so yeah, just be prepared for whatever. Take your time. I am now about to install the standard pump. I'm thinking everything should go okay from this point on. I think the hardest part is over with. This right here is the line for your power steering. This will attach to, let's see, let me pull this up. Okay, so this should be positioned this way. So right here with the yellow covering right there, that should go right into there. That's called a banjo bolt or something like that. And then this one right here is where the line will go into. I really did consider leaving the ABC pump in there because it would work, fine. Half of the pump not functioning would not destroy the pump. Because the power steering side is separate. I mean, that's a tandem pump, meaning a two-part pump. And so the part for the power steering will continue to operate properly. You don't have to remove the power steering pump if you do a coilover swap. But I decided to remove it. I wanted all those components to come up out of here. This is all the front end stuff. These are all the lines. This is the valve blocks. You can see all this stuff right here. Okay, all that stuff is gonna go on the market. I'm gonna clean it all up. I'm gonna separate what needs to be separated. What's trash is trash. But I went through this with the CL55. I mean, everything from that filter for the ABC pump to the reservoir to this right here, and this right here, and this right here. Okay, all that stuff will sell for good money on eBay, so you can get a lot of your money back just selling the components. But here goes the coilover strut right there. Look at that pretty thing right there. All right, all this stuff is gone, like all that empty space where a lot of that stuff, the valve blocks were hanging out at. Now I still have to access the stuff in the rear. I can get the lines that runs from the front right here all along the side to the back, okay? You can see the lines right there. You can see the stuff right there, okay? I will remove that valve block right there too. All that stuff got to go. I don't need it. It's excess weight. I can make money off of it, so why would I keep it on my car? All that stuff has to come on out. I don't care about the lines so much because those are expensive to ship, but I do care about the actual components. My system probably just needed let me see, O-rings might need to be replaced, or I'm trying to think what this other thing is called, the accumulator. I think one of my accumulators need to be replaced. I can't remember on this car if it was the front or the rear. But shoot, you know, minus that, the valve block itself is good. The fluid was clean. So I got some good parts that I'm going to sell, but let me go ahead and get back to this and get this thing right here installed. A whole lot of talking. I'm just kind of relieved to get to this point. But yeah, a whole lot of work, man. I mean, I probably started around noon, maybe 1 o'clock, something like that. And now it's 6 going on 7 o'clock. So, you know, it took some work to get that thing up out of there, more than I expected. But like I said, make sure that the forms that you're reading are correct. Compare them. Don't just assume, okay? You'll eliminate a lot of frustration. Do as much reading and studying as you can before you start a project, and you'll be more confident as you go in, and you'll be prepared for a lot of the unexpected things that the first person who wrote the form went through. And so I appreciate all those who do write down or videotape their experiences, because it helps out those who are trying to do it without making those same mistakes. All right, less talking, more working. Back to it. And I still haven't driven this thing with the coilovers because I wanted to do this first. All right, talk to you later. I'll let you know how it go. Bye.